Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid and I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long. It's been like a week or something like that since I've done a video. I am an awful YouTuber. I've been having a boiler fitted. Sorry. So today we are going to be talking about wrestling themes, because who doesn't love a wrestling theme? Now I'm going to be counting down 5 artists that I think could do an incredible job on a wrestling theme given the chance. Now, if you think about wrestling themes, you often think of, Edge's Metalingus, I believe it's called, and the game, Triple H's theme song. You think of these big sort of rock songs and the big arena rock, and I've picked some of those, but I've also picked some offbeat choices that you might not think about, some unknown artists that maybe you want to go and check out, and one particularly big name that you'll have to stick around till the end to find out. So we're going to kick off the list with number 1, and that is Australian band Stand Atlantic. Now, Stand Atlantic are a pop punk band, and they have a really good, catchy vibe. Their lead singer Bonnie has an incredible vocal range. She can kill pretty much every song, and their most recent album shows that. Pink Elephant is a phenomenal album. Go check it out. Now, why I think they'd be good for a wrestling theme is because they've got the catchy hooks, they've got really raw emotion, but they're also very good with sort of imagery, and they can use really good metaphors and often abstract words just to describe something that you really wouldn't expect. One of their songs has really good imagery, and it really shows sort of like the pain and the flaws, but it's also really catchy. It's a really catchy song, and I feel like having those put together a wrestling theme could really create a fully fledged character with a song, and that is the whole point of a wrestling theme, is to get over and introduce a new character to audiences who don't know them. That is why Stand Atlantic would be a top-notch choice. Now, my second pick is a band called Ice Nine Kills. Now, Ice Nine Kills are a metal band from the States, I believe, and they are incredible. Incredible. That doesn't make sense to anyone who's not an Ice Nine Kills fan, so I apologise. However, their sort of genre, if you'd call it that, is they tell stories through song, mainly through adapting either books, or most recently on their album The Silver Scream, they adapted horror films into songs. And why they'd be so good for a wrestling theme is because they tell beautiful perspectives. Now, you want to hear sort of like, if you want to hear, how would I describe why Ice Nine Kills would be so good? They tell the perspective of horror movie villains through songs. That just automatically fits a wrestler, right? If you could tell like the backstory and the intricacies of a person's childhood in a wrestling theme, that's something that's never really been done before. Entrance themes are usually about hyping people up and getting you excited to see this wrestler, but actually telling their backstory through a song, which is what Ice Nine Kills do so well, would be an incredible achievement. I think the closest we're currently getting to that is Cody's theme. That sort of tells you a lot about his character, but it doesn't really go that in depth into his backstory. I think bringing them along and having them produce an incredibly anthemic wrestling theme, there'd be a top-notch choice. Now, my third pick is an up-and-coming British indie band called Seagirls. Now, the main reason I picked Seagirls is they have one song, all the songs are great, but they have one song that's really stuck out to me as being perfect for a wrestling theme, and that is Soldier On. They have Soldier On, yes. They have really good hooks and riffs, and just every song is so catchy from Seagirls. The lead singer, Henry, has a really unique vocal tone. He's a really unique deep voice, and he can go quite high when he wants to. But they have a really good arena rock quality, and I feel like they'd fit. I could picture, an entire crowd singing along to one of their songs as someone made their way to the ring, and they've always stuck out for me for that. And they've had a new album released in 2020 that was full of, just constant bangers. So I feel like Seagirls, while you wouldn't necessarily think of them as fitting with wrestling, I think they really could, particularly on a British, independent scene. And you've seen some of the songs that have been played at like Progress and stuff like that. It will be really fascinating to see them tackle the world of wrestling. Now my fourth pick is a band called I Prevail. Now if you're not an AEW fan, you might not know who I Prevail are, but I Prevail have actually worked with AEW before. They did a song for, I believe, Revolution. I think they did the song for Hangman Page, Kenny Omega vs the Young Bucks. I'll double check that. But they are a metalcore band, and their electronic, production mixed with the sort of heavy metal screaming side of things really works. And the lead singer Brian has an incredible, range, and he's got an incredible way of getting across emotion, and that is what they're really good at. Some of their songs, such as Every Time You Leave and Hurricane. If you listen to Hurricane is basically a wrestling entrance theme already. Like if we were just playing SmackDown vs Raw and you could still import your music, their entire album Trauma would just be everyone's entrance music, because it already sounds like entrance music. That is why they're so good. They're a natural fit for the wrestling business. Their songs not only hit you right in the feels, but they're also really catchy and just anthemic. They could just get people on the feet. So if you haven't checked out I Prevail, I would check them out, because hopefully they might do some more work with AEW. We can only hope. Now my fifth choice, and this is the most out of the box one, is Taylor Swift. Now for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a massive Taylor Swift fan. Her last 3 albums have been incredible: Evermore, Folklore and Love It. Let's forget Reputation, and then you've got 1989, which is an absolutely incredible masterpiece. It's an incredible album. I will have no one else tell me any different. Now why would I want Taylor Swift to do a wrestling song? Because she captures character so well. She's proved that on her last 2 albums. She can tell stories, such as in the Last Great American Dynasty and stuff like Cardigan, and particularly in the acoustic song Betty. Betty just is an incredible story set to music, and I feel like pairing her with someone who is, a fresh star, having Taylor Swift perform your entrance song would just be incredible. Having her write it, because she's so good at storytelling, she's so good at capturing characters, that she could capture the essence of a wrestler in a song. And that's why I think she'd be so good. I know there's a lot of love for Carly Rae Jepsen as well, and I'd love to see Carly Rae Jepsen do a wrestling theme. Run Away With Me, that could be. Or any song from Emotion would be a great wrestling theme. But Taylor Swift, I think, is actually a fit for wrestling. Surprising. I don't know why I've thought that. Maybe it's just because I like Taylor Swift so much. But yeah, I would like to see Taylor Swift tackle the wrestling industry. Give Taylor Swift a wrestling theme. And those are my picks. Those are my picks for wrestling themes and people I'd love to see do a wrestling theme. Do you have any? Please let me know in the comments down below, and I will reply to every single one. I will try to. And thank you all ever so much for your support. Thank you genuinely ever so much. And everyone, have a nice day.